Good morning, everyone. Welcome to WIP Wednesday with Karen. I'm your sorry, it's been one of those weeks where the weather has just been all over the place. In fact, I apologize for the camera being so dark. No matter what I do, it'd be either too light or too dark. And figured you'd rather see things too dark than too light, because if I show you yarn that you can't tell the colors because they're so washed out, I apologize. So anyway, welcome to WIP Wednesday with Karen. I'm Karen Hooley, your host. So excited you're here. It's this rainy Wednesday. Everything's really cold. We were in the 80s earlier this week, and today it is freezing. So if you are in the chat, make sure you introduce yourself and say hello and let us know where you're watching from. This is my weekly live stream that I'm going to try to keep it to about 30 minutes at the most, maybe 45, depending on what's going on. But I'm here to talk about all the things that I've been working on and things that are new in the shop and things that are new with Karen Hooley Designs. So the first thing I want to talk about is I have a survey, and I am going to put the link up on the screen here really quick. I'm going to take the ticker off, and there's the survey link. It's also in the show notes below the video. This is for anyone who is interested in my patterns, my classes, my crochet crew, my video classes, my self-paced classes, whatever it is, my books, my patterns. It's 5 questions. It's anonymous, and it is just going to help me move forward over the next few months to figure out what my followers want from me, as far as not only the patterns and education, but what you want to see in my newsletters, that kind of thing. It's 5 multiple choice questions with a long form question that's optional. It's just if you need to expand on any of your choices, or you want to tell me something else, go ahead and put it in that. But if you're willing to do that, I would really appreciate it. So let's do that. And then the second thing I want to talk about before we go on to what I'm working on is here is my mystery crochet along link. I'm so excited about this too. The mystery crochet along begins on May 1st. However, we are going to have a kickoff video, Zoom, Google Meet. I usually use Google Meet. I forget to not say Zoom anymore. It's a Google Meet, and it is it starts on, that is going to be on April 30th. I want to make sure I have the date right. But the first clue for the mystery crochet along drops on May 1st. There's 3 clues. One drops on May 1st, then the 8th, and then the 15th. And every week you have the option of joining me for a question and answer session if you have questions or anything like that. And the kickoff video everybody gets to come to. And then at the end, we're going to have a celebratory of Google Meet that everybody brings their shawls. It doesn't matter if you finished or not, just the fact that you're working on it. We'd love to have you. So make sure you do that. It's a 4-color shawl, and it is a triangle. And when you register for the crochet along, you will get all of the details of what you're looking for yarn, what you hook, the date and times of the Google Meets, and more. So make sure you register. It's going to close at the end of day Pacific time at 4 p.m. on April 30th. So make sure that you have signed up for that as well. Okay, so if you're in the chat, make sure you introduce yourself. I haven't seen anybody come in and introduce yourself, but I'm going to start talking about what's going on here in the studio. The first thing I want to show you is all the pieces are now complete for my pullover. I know this looks like just a square or a rectangle. It is actually going to be a pullover with a wide neck, and it's oversized. So if you're going to make this for yourself, it's going to be 10 to 12 inches of ease. So that is what this is made for. So it's going to have a wide boat neck, and it's going to have sleeves. It already makes sleeves already because of how wide it is. But it's going to have some attached sleeves that make it more elbow, or half length sleeves kind of thing. So this has been, and I'm sorry everything's so dark, but this is Chaos Fiber Arts. It's her sock yarn, or her, I don't have the labels here. These need to go on the blocking board, so the labels are over there. But it's Whispers of Spring is the name of the colorway. It's her fingering weight yarn. It's really cool. It's really gorgeous. When I saw it in the hank, I mean, it was just amazing. And you can see it's a beautiful variegated, and it's going to be a pullover that you can wear as a transitional piece. So you could put a turtleneck underneath it if you wanted to, or you could put a tank top underneath it if it's warmer weather and you just need something to keep your shoulders warm, that kind of thing. So that is going on the blocking board. I actually finished this on Friday, and things kind of went crazy on Friday afternoon. So I didn't get it on the blocking board. It's going to go on today. So that is the first thing I'm working on. And then the second thing that I'm working on is, hi, Denise. I just saw you popped in and said hello. It's good to see you here. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for popping in. Okay. So second thing I'm working on is I got some really cool yarns from Ito Yarns. And now Ito is, the link is in my profile. It's they do more of fingering and lace weight yarns. And you may have seen them on Instagram, but they gave me a whole bunch of samples of different yarns. And there's, I mean, everything from wool to cotton blends with linen and silk. There's 100% silk in there. There is paper and rayon in there. I've been working on with this one here. I've been swatching it. This is their So Asa in the iron blue. It is a fingering / lace. Based on what they talk about here on their color card or their yarn cards, it is it's a linen cotton silk blend, and they recommend a US size 3 or 4 knitting needle. They don't talk about crochet in here, so that's a 3.25 to 3.5 millimeter. I am actually using a 2.5 millimeter to get just a double crochet swatch right now, but I really like the feel of it. It's 70% linen, and let me get this back out. 70% linen, 17% cotton, and 13% silk. So the silk gives it the sheen, which you cannot really see on camera. Gives it really, but it's got a really nice hand. And at the 2.5 millimeter size, you get a nice even fabric. I mean, this is just double crochet. There's a lot of holes in it, so I need to play with it. I probably would use something textured with this, but I usually start with double crochets just to get a feel for the yarn itself. So that is what is on my hook. Now, I have one other project for you. I had to show you that I've started. My grandson is going to be 4 coming up this in June, and I am working on a sweater for him. And I really wanted to show you the sweater that I'm working on. Now, here is, oops, I'm going to try to do it so it's a little bigger. There you go. So this is the Knitting for Olive Dino sweater, and it is knitted. Yes, I know I'm a crocheter designer, but I also do knit, and I'm making him this in a size 6 because I want him to have it for a while. So I did start, and I'm going to take the picture off again. And instead of doing that gray background, I'm doing this navy. And there's a reason why I'm doing it in this navy. It is because when my son was 4, my mom gave him a dinosaur sweater that he wore forever. So this is the yarn I decided to, it's not the same dinosaur. Unfortunately, I don't have that sweater anymore. It wasn't one of those things that we kept. And but this one this is the navy that was in it, and his was a Tyrannosaurus Rex head. But I'm trying to get it in this close to the same colors as Tyler's was, so that I can, just, it was just something that my mom did, and I want to do it for my grandson. So I'm making it a size 6. I am at the point, you can probably see the stitch markers here, which tell me where to work the chart. And what's really interesting is when I started working on this and I read through the pattern, because one of the things I always tell all of my people, hi, Deborah, I just saw you come in. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, so when I started going through the pattern, I realized the way it works is that it works from the bottom front. You work the chart and everything all the way up to the shoulders. Then you separate for the shoulders and work each shoulder separately, but you keep the first shoulder on a I-cord or something, or not an I-cord, but like a waist yarn type of thing. And then you put them all back on the needles, and then you work the back from the top down. And then you work the sleeves separately, which is interesting. I've never worked a sweater crocheted or knitted. Well, no, I take that back. I have done a crocheted sweater that way, but never a knitted sweater. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. I like having some pieces. So I like having side seams because side seams give you some stability, no matter whether it's crocheted or knitted. So I'm anxious to see how this one turns out, but I'm really excited on how it turns out. Now I want to show you the yarn I'm using. It is a worsted weight. The pattern calls for worsted weight. If I would have ordered the yarn from Knitting for Olive, it would have been like almost a $250 sweater for a size 6. And for my grandson, who's going to wear it all over the place, I'm not spending that much. So I got Universal Yarns Deluxe Worsted. So this is a non-superwash. And normally I wouldn't do a non-superwash for a kid, but because my daughter grew up in my house, I can tell her that it's non-superwash, that she needs to hand wash it and lay it flat to dry so it doesn't shrink and felt. I can do that. And I know it is such a soft yarn. And I do have the link in my show notes for this yarn. Oh, and also for the Ito that I showed you earlier. The Ito Yarns website is also in my show notes. But this is the navy that I'm using. It is actually called True Navy. But then for the dinosaur, I'm going to be using 3 different greens. The one here on the end is, I think this is pea shoots, if I remember correctly. No, greenery. This is greenery, and that is the color of the dinosaur. And then there's duplicate stitch. If you have ever knitted before, you know duplicate stitch that I do to do all of the features. I'm going to put the dinosaur back on. So the background with the main color of the dinosaur is this lighter green right here. And then there's 2 different greens here that I have to use for duplicate stitch. I also need some white for the teeth and some black, and I have that in my stash. So I didn't order yarns for that. But I do need to wind the main color green because I am at the chart now. So I can start working on the actual dinosaur. So hopefully next week you'll see at least the dinosaur done, and maybe even a start of the back, so that you can see how it's all going to turn out. It's kind of my evening project. So last night I got that far, and now I can start the chart. I didn't have the green wound, otherwise I would have started the chart last night. Okay, so that is it for what's on my hook and needles in the case of the sweater. I have a few more things that are going to be happening behind the scenes too, but I wanted to also just mention, for those of you who are members or maybe not members of the Crochet Guild of America, I am going to be teaching for them in July. July 16th through the 18th are the actual classes and events. I'll be flying home on the 19th, but I'll be gone. But I will be teaching. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out the CGOA website, which is crochet.org. I will also be teaching at the Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Fest in Irving, Texas. And that begins on the 27th and ends on the 30th of August. So I will be gone then, but I will be teaching. So if you're interested in going to a fiber event, Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Fest is one of my favorites. I tell everybody you have to experience it once. So make sure you go to that one. And if you're there, let me know. And then in September, from the 19th to the 20th, is the Spokane Fleece and Fiber Festival. And I will be teaching 2 classes there on Saturday. So if you're planning to go to that one, make sure you let me know as well. So those are live classes that are coming up. And I also wanted to let you know that I am going to be teaching virtual classes through May. And then I decided I'm taking June, July, and August off. Because of my travel schedule, I'm trying to schedule classes for that has been crazy. So the only classes that I will be scheduling are for the crochet crew. So if you're a member of my crochet crew, the mini classes will be happening. They'll just be on a randomly spaced out in June, July, and August, depending on where my travel schedule hits. But I just wanted to let you guys know that so if you want to take a virtual class from me, you've got May. Today, the last class is closing for April. That's going to be on Friday. It's called Tunisian Entrelac, and it's the squares, if you don't know what entrelac is. And it's done in the Tunisian knit stitch. So if you're interested in that, today is the last day to register. It closes at 4 p.m. today. Pacific time. So make sure you're registered for that if you're interested in taking that class. The other 2 are in May. I don't have the dates in front of me right now. One is shawl shapes, which we're going to talk about 3 different shapes of shawls and how to create the shapes so that you can design your own shawls. And the second one is my well-loved, most popular class I've ever taught as far as numbers of students, and that is my Savvy Single Crochet class. So if you're interested in that, those 2 are still up and they will be for a little while longer. So make sure you're registered for those. And that is about it for me today. Unless anybody has a question they want to ask me, I'll give you a couple minutes to jump into the chat and ask me a question. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Oh, you know what I should show you is I got this cool little set this is from Tulip. We should probably turn it over. This is Tulip. And I ordered this online. And this is a little magnetic case that has metal tapestry needles in 4 different sizes. But what I like about them, if you can get them closer there, is the bent tip. I'm so excited about having all different sizes and bent tip. I've only had worsted weight up until now, and Tulip has come out with this. I don't know when they came out with this. This is new to me, but I ordered them from Harrisville Designs. So if you want a set of these, I'm going to stick them in my crochet bag later today. But this is really cool as well. Okay. So since there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for being here. For those of you who are watching live, if you're watching this after the fact, I appreciate you coming back and watching. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great day. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video or to my channel, I should say. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. And that helps with more people coming on and seeing me on the live stream. So have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.